Obviously, influences William Friedkin's The Exorcist. Blanking out on The Shining. Stanley Kubrick, of course. Some of these classic horrors. The Sixth Sense I thought was exceptional when it first came out. And again, these sort of subtle, powerful, character-driven stories, because it always is about the characters. It should always start with a very strong story.
Before we get into your specific creative processes, I'd love to, since we're here talking about women in indie horror, I would love to get your takes on your inspirations from female creators. Are there creators either that are colleagues right now or that are really leading the way in horror films or other horror mediums that you feel are just doing an amazing job and are setting a pace forward for other horror creators? Perhaps there is simply not enough right now. We cannot find any examples.
There is a lack of us creating, on the major scale, creating films and being brought into the forefront of Hollywood. But has anyone seen The Babadook? Yes, my people. That is an excellent film. And then plays off of a lot of what we were talking about too with the psychological and the simplistic. I think that the actress in that, because I honestly am more on the acting side of things. I do manage a wonderful group of models who are all fantastic in what they do. They have done all of the makeup and the monster work, and they have tag team with me on doing the costuming for all of our films and everything, and all of our photo shoots and the things that we do. And there's not enough love that goes out to these people, especially in makeup. Their makeup is heavily female driven, even horror makeup, because you can really just let your imagination go and let your skills shine. And so the women that I know who do that are absolutely fantastic. The people that I was inspired by for horror was obviously Sigourney Weaver from Alien. She does an amazing job and continues to do amazing work. And I think that is something to applaud, is that because sometimes there is a time clock put on us, and women are seen as disposable in our industry, especially when they get, over 35. And I think she has done an amazing job. Her, Helen Mirren, who's been in several horror films that are absolutely terrifying and really hard to watch, but she also is an inspiration to me as well. But I honestly can't say that I'm too familiar with behind the scenes. I think that's more your wheelhouse than it is mine. I'm more on the acting side of things.
Yeah, I sort of echo what Genevieve said. Jennifer Kent, the director of The Babadook, I thought did an excellent job. Even Catherine Bigelow's first film, the vampire film, Dark, what was it? Help me. It's not Dark. Is it? No, but it was like her first feature film. No. It was something about vampire.
Something about vampires and darkness.
It was good.
And it was great. So find it.
Our point being is that there's not enough women behind the camera in general, but especially when it comes to the horror genre, even the action genre. I've luckily, since I've done 21 Days, I've been able to have meetings with bigger production companies and studios, and Netflix and Blumhouse, and hope this is not recorded because I'm going to. I think there's
everybody sign an NDA before leaving. Thank you.
And I've told them this. I think there's a misconception that women cannot direct scary films or action films. I think the Wonder Woman, the filmmaker behind Patty Jenkins, is helping to kind of change that narrative. But I really feel that's a strongly entrenched kind of mindset But there's I mean, the Salska sisters, they're daring. I'm not a blood and guts kind of, that type of genre, but there's a huge fan base for that. And I don't see them getting the opportunities to direct a bigger film. I feel like they're still, out there,
Plugging
away in
Yeah.
the independent film.
Because that is half the battle.
Right.
It's getting seen and getting trusted with something that may cost, 5 million, 10 million, like, $2 billion film. And it's, people usually want to go with the safe route rather than go with somebody that they, that they're like, I have never seen anybody, like I've never seen a woman direct this type of film. And so, if it's not seen, then it's not easily accepted as a viable option or avenue to go down. And I think that's our biggest problem, is that once it's seen and once it's proven, like, Patty Jenkins obviously broke a lot of walls with that, but, is she going to be that push that we need, or is it going to be Patty Jenkins, and then 5-10 years later, then we get another Patty Jenkins, and they're like, oh well, they did it twice, blah blah blah, but we'll see.
I would like to give a shout out to the creators of The Walking Dead hire a fair number of female directors to do their episodes, and I think that's really phenomenal.
I mean, there is a lot more that I've seen, a lot more women writers, a lot more women producers, especially on things that, I love, Rick and Morty, a lot of cool stuff there. And they're just getting a lot of, women on projects. But since these are also behind the scenes roles too, I mean, you saw me, I couldn't even name like one freaking person, male or female, behind the camera. So, I think it's just kind of one of those things that you just have to keep plugging away at and, chipping away. But that's Hollywood sometimes, most of the time. And it's a lot of hard work, especially to get anything in front of the camera, to get anything made or produced or distributed. It's just hard.
Out of curiosity, how many female creators do we have in the audience, just by show of hands? Writers, artists? A handful? Excellent. Well, thank you for coming. And
yes,
hopefully these ladies will be able to say your names in a few years, or you will be on the stage in a few years telling us about your female-led projects. So, and we do want to celebrate these two women here because they're very talented creators, and hopefully you will provide an inspiration for other female creators ahead of you. So let's talk about your creative processes. Kathleen, let's start with you as a writer and director of horror film. What is your creative process like? Do you find that it often starts with a singular concept, or does it start with a character, or a kind of combination of the two?
It's a combination. Sometimes I find that I usually will have 2 or 3 different story ideas of which I'm sort of mulling around in my head, and I'll start writing out, a synopsis, and then as time progresses, the 3 story ideas become one idea, and then I start hearing in my head the dialogue of the characters, and sometimes it's just random dialogue. I would say to writers, you don't have to start at page 1, because if you do, that's often so daunting. Maybe you start at page 50, or maybe you start at the end. But listen to your characters, and listen to your characters. And if you have them in your mind, you can see them start listening, just take dictation, of what they're saying. So it's usually starts that way, several different story ideas that start to meld, usually into one. And then I have the characters in my mind, and I can see them, and I cast them in my mind. Maybe it's actors or people that I know. And there's a rhythm to their speech, and I start putting them in situations, and they're talking, and then I just start from there, and it just builds. It's sort of a mysterious kind of process, but it's not. I would say to the writers out there, if you find it daunting, it is daunting to write a script, but don't feel like you have to start at page 1.